It started on a crisp morning when I decided to float my ranch boat into my lake for a bit of early fishing and relaxation. The water was calm, and the sun had just begun to glint off the surface, making everything feel peaceful. That calm, however, was short-lived. Karen, predictably, had somehow gotten wind of my plans and showed up at the edge of the lake, phone in hand, determined to assert her authority. She immediately began shouting into her phone, claiming that I had no right to use the lake and that she, as part of the HOA, had control over who could access it. Her tone was aggressive, full of the usual overconfidence she carried, as if she actually had legal authority over my property. Kept my cool. Behind me, my K9s positioned themselves strategically. One on the dock, growling low in warning. Another patrolling the perimeter of the boat launch, and a third stationed near the path leading to the shore, blocking any attempt to interfere. The coordinated positioning made it clear that Karen was no longer in control. I stepped forward and spoke calmly but firmly. "Karen, you are trespassing and attempting to intimidate me on my property. You have no authority here. Leave now, or law enforcement will remove you." Karen's face went pale. She tried to argue, waving her phone, but the look in the eyes of my K9s and my steady stance made her hesitate. Her plans were unraveling before they even began. Within minutes, patrol cars arrived. I had anticipated her antics and preemptively informed the local authorities of her likely interference. The officers quickly confirmed my ownership of the lake and surrounding property, reviewing all deeds and legal documentation I had brought with me. Karen's phone calls to the HOA were ignored, and her protests fell on deaf ears. She attempted one last act of defiance by stepping toward the dock, but my lead K9 stepped forward, growling sharply and stopping her in her tracks. The officers moved to escort her off the property, formally citing her for trespassing and harassment. Once Karen was gone, I carefully inspected the lake and surrounding property to ensure no damage had been done. Everything was intact, the boat was safe, and my K9s remained alert, clearly signaling that the property was fully protected. I then documented the incident thoroughly, creating a permanent record of her harassment and the attempted intimidation. By afternoon, the lake was serene again. I finally set out in my boat, enjoying the water in complete peace. Karen's attempt to disrupt my activities had utterly failed, and the combination of legal authority, preemptive planning, and trained K9s had once again left her humiliated and powerless. The lesson was unmistakable. No amount of bluffing, false authority, or intimidation could override proper legal rights, preparedness, and security. Karen and the HOA had learned yet again that any interference with my property would be met with decisive, unavoidable consequences.